Hello, welcome back to the channel. What about a trip to hopefully see some dolphins today out there on the Clyde? We're off on a dolphin spotting tour with Clyde Charters. That's the boat just down there, so hopefully we'll see some dolphins today. If not, we'll enjoy the scenery out there on the Clyde. We're here at Kip Marina here in Inverclyde. That's where the dolphin spotting tour for Clyde Charters leaves from, here at the Kip Marina in Inverclyde. So join us on the dolphin spotting tour with Clyde Charters. And we can see some of the swans and cygnets down there. Let's get some of them in the video for you. Everybody loves swans and cygnets. So go over get some food from the boat there by the looks of it. The cygnets are getting bigger now, look at them now. Great to see that, there you go. Enjoying being here at Kip Marina. Just before we head out onto the tour, if you'd like to find out more information about Clyde Charters and also the dolphin spotting tour, we'll include a link to the Clyde Charters website on our description below.
The grind you're on today, is it?
Oh well, that's your last stroke. That's your last stroke.
Yeah, I heard you were busy yesterday, up and down getting stuff to the, yeah.
Last one beat me. I'm going to get 4 runs, but that's fucking.
We departed Kip Marina here in Inverclyde at 9 AM to make our way toward Greenock. The vessel is called Obsession. We will hear more about her later from the skipper Ed. Refreshments such as tea, coffee and hot chocolate was available during the trip. As you can see, it's a busy marina with lots of different craft. If you'd like to find out more about the Kip Marina, you can visit their website at kipmarina.co.uk. It was an overcast start to the morning with the sun set to burn through the clouds later in the day. So we've just left Kip Marina. We're now heading up toward Greenock. That's where the dolphins are regularly spotted. So we're heading up there to see if we can see some dolphins in Greenock first. Just left, I say Kip Marina just down there, past Inverclyde Beach. We're heading past Gourock shortly. Just over there is the Cloch Lighthouse. And there you go, there's the Cloch Lighthouse in Gourock. There's a Cloch Lighthouse there, and just up behind the Cloch Lighthouse is the Cloch Caravan Park. There's all the various caravans just behind the lighthouse there. That's Cloch Caravan Park. And just down there, that's us looking on to Gourock. Along the Gourock shorefront there's the Westland Ferry Terminal.
Built in 1797, signed and built by Robert Stevenson of Robert Louis Stevenson claim to fame. Built several lighthouses and designed. We have the Cloch here. There's another lighthouse down in Tower that he built, further down the Clyde. So he designed and built quite a few. So 1797 it started. The Clyde obviously was probably the most important area for shipbuilding. Lots of ships coming in and out. So they needed lighthouses to make sure that the ships could have safe passage all the way up. So right here, the Clyde kind of doglegs to the right. So we have a lighthouse over in the canoe side, an area called the Gantex. So it's a little unmanned lighthouse. So ships would come up, they'd get the bearing off these two, and that would tell them to be able to turn to starboard, turn to the right, and start heading up towards Greenock, and ultimately Port Glasgow and Glasgow. So during the Second World War, the Cloch Lighthouse right in front was like a little small building with two rectangular window-looking things. So from there all the way over to Dunoon was an anti-submarine net. And one of the reasons was, while the Clyde had several anti-submarine nets on the way up, this one was kind of the last hurrah, because we have Holy Loch over on the left side. That during the Second World War was home to the American naval base. They left early to mid-60s, but during the Second World War we had an anti-submarine net running across to protect Holy Loch's naval base. To the right of the Cloch you see a little white building, which is currently used, I believe, right now as a garage lighthouse, but during the Second World War housed an artillery piece, so that if this anti-submarine net did catch a submarine surface, they would be able to shell it. Further down, you'll see these little small buildings, little shacks on the side. From guests who actually own them, a little bit of history about them. They're littered throughout Scotland, and during the First World War, there was a shortage of food, there was a shortage of men, they were all off fighting the First World War. So the landowners offered the families a spot to rent so that they could catch fish and smoke the fish. So this provided a source of food for the family, by smoking them, that would also provide food for the towns and villages that weren't close by, which would then result in an income for the family. So some interesting little tidbits that over the years we've picked up from guests who've actually owned them. They still pay a tithe to the landowner. In this case, it's the Argowan estate. I don't know what the actual tithe is, but it is a yearly tithe. If there is any damage, for example, to the roof, they have a limited period, I believe it's 48 hours, to get it fixed. I might be wrong, I'm just going on what people have told me. A few years ago, one of them lost a roof to a fire, and they had a very short period of time to get it fixed. And their solution was to go to, and this was during COVID, they went to a salvage yard and found an old boat, chopped off the top of it, the cabin, and stuck it on. And that qualified as it was now okay. And subsequently they could repair it. September, October, oftentimes we will see them down with fires. They are a smokehouse, so they're not really a residence. They're not even really, I wouldn't even class them as a bothy, but they are privately owned. They can only be handed down through the family, so it doesn't matter if you win the lottery, you'll not be able to buy one. If the family relinquishes their lease, the estate cannot turn around and re-rent it out. So a lot of them over the years have basically disappeared, but here it's a lovely area, so they've managed to keep them all going. There is one that I know of that will eventually disappear. The leasehold, we had the leaseholder, she said, all my kids grew up, they're down in London, they don't have any interest, so I relinquished it. But sometimes when we come up, we'll actually see the fires going, and sometimes some people will actually still smoke the fish. So I love the smell of smoked mackerel, so it's always kind of nice. Going back to our lighthouse, a few years ago it was put up for sale, and if you like those home renovation shows, the lighthouse was actually featured in one of those renovation shows. They've done an absolutely terrific job of doing it, and it's absolutely superb. Funny little story, every so often that beautiful big window up there, sometimes as we go, people are taking pictures, people are looking at the building with binoculars, and sometimes you'll actually see the owner in the window with a pair of binoculars looking out at the boat, and he'll be waving at them. So they've done a superb job. Still, as you can see, a little bit of scaffolding, they're still working on it, but absolutely done a superb job. And the show's actually kind of interesting to watch. You actually get to see a lot of what was done on it. So the other little interesting thing about this area is because of the dogleg, we usually, and today's obviously going to prove me a liar, we usually get to see a lot of porpoises around here, just by the nature of the area. A lot of fish will congregate in this area, and so it's a great feeding spot for the porpoises, but today no such luck. So we're just going to slowly head up past the ferries and on our way up to Greenock.
That's the ferry, takes you over to Winter's Cairn, it's the Western Ferries. Just over there is the Royal Gourock Yacht Club. See all the various yachts and boats all docked out on the moorings over there. And just a wee bit further over there is Ashton front of Gourock, the Ashton Promenade. And just a wee bit further in the distance you'll see the St John's Church in Gourock. That's one of the kind of famous landmarks in Gourock. You can see that from the distance from St John's Church. I can sneak over there. And just in front of that, we've got the Gourock outdoor swimming pool. We'll see that when we get a wee bit closer. So there's the Gourock outdoor swimming pool, that's it right there, that's the Gourock pool. And just up behind that there, as I was saying earlier on, is the St John's Church steeple, that's it. And that is Kilcreggan pier, that's the Kilmarnock ferry there. Just about ready to leave from Kilcreggan pier, take passengers over to Gourock terminal. That's one of the other historical piers we've got here in the west of Scotland, Kilcreggan pier. Because one of our other videos featured the 107th anniversary of the Bottlenose pier, so that's another historic pier there for you, the Kilcreggan pier. There we go, that's the ferry terminal there. The fancy ferry to Dublin and Kilcreggan. Little wee clips there. There's the train station there. The old train station, trains taking to Bath. Just up there in the distance there, I see that up the hill, that's the Free French Memorial up in Leo Hill in Greenock. And this is Cardwell Bay in Gourock. Some more of the yachts moored up on their buildings. You at Cardwell Bay in Gourock, and just over there you'll see the Cardwell Bay Sailing Club. It's just the Royal West of Scotland Amateur Boat Club. Here at the Esplanade in Greenock, just come up to the Esplanade now, that's the Esplanade here in the Greenock area. There we go, that's the Greenock Esplanade. And just down there, those cranes there, that's where the container terminal is, paint ports. And many cruise ships dock there, just a bit further down from the cranes there, that's where the cruise liners, the cruise ships come in to the ocean terminal just a wee bit further down there. So, Greenock Esplanade here, and just there is the Royal West of Scotland Amateur Boat Club. There we go, that's it there. Just in front of the brand new flats that's been built here. And just there in the distance is Gourock. Dolphins. There's a dolphin there. There's one of the dolphins. There we go. Excellent.
Right there. Oh! Right. There's one closer to us right there. Onto the cranes.
Starboard,
They're coming over.
starboard side. Over here, literally. Pair of them. Yeah.
Oh my
Very good.
goodness. Oh, nifty. They'll probably hold them on that second.
So the dolphins that are really close is Splash and her mom. That are the ones right there.
So there's possibly 4 dolphins here.
Okay. Yeah, that's. The heads are quite flat, quite simply flat window. It's quite flat. There's 2 dolphins stretched. No, there's one bigger.
Right, so that'll be the mother and the...
And then it's like. No, they're completely wild. You don't really see them. It's not the boat.
Right.
We're not like.
Well, it would really be so much chasing them, so you could want to. I dare say you would want to be used to.
Yeah, they're one bit wild. So we're always cool. We want to take care of them. Especially like things, but. Yeah, no, they're still over there now.
That made my day.
Nobody said to see us.
Yeah.
So it was spotted at 10 and 7. Nothing. This is like over.
Well, the sun isn't
What's your next one?
So our pod is made up of 3 adults, Bodhi, Luna, and Zuzu. Luna being the male, and the dad of Splash and Clyde. So what's interesting, East Coast pod, that about four years or so ago, they moved over from the East Coast all the way around here and took up residence here. There was a second male, Squiggles, and Squiggles ended up in over towards Northern Ireland. And then we also have a pod of about 15 to 20 West Coast dolphins that hang around Arran. But yeah, this pod is related to the East Coast pod. Splash, as I said, is right around a year, just over a year. Clyde, close to 3 years. So we've had 2 baby dolphins born in the Clyde, which is, I think, fantastic.
Are they tagged in any way?
No. Tagging dolphins is not something that even researchers do. It's kind of frowned upon, mainly because in order to tag them, you actually have to put something through their dorsal, and there is a potential for infections to set in. So tagging dolphins is not something that's...
So you go by the colour, the shape, the...
Go by markings. So Splash on her dorsal now has some scrape marks. So that could have been from playing with the other dolphins. So we look at their dorsal fins, we look at the markings that are on them, which is usually a result of playing with another dolphin, hitting something. So those marks are kind of unique to each dolphin.
I play with a kayak or two around here.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been funny. We've seen wild swimmers swimming along and the pod's been right behind them and they've no idea.
If you did, they would swim a bit faster.
Or stop and wait for the pod to catch up.
Do they tend to stay more to shore rather than in the middle of this river?
So when they first arrived, we noticed that they basically cruised up between Port Glasgow and Largs, but they've been seen as far up as Erskine Bridge, and our pod has been seen down as far southern tip of Little Cumbria, Fairley, that area. Mostly they stay on the Inverclyde, North Ayrshire side, but this year they've spent a fair amount of time over in Gourock and Loch Long. So not a lot is known about where they go. They were seen this morning. They could very well disappear this afternoon and we won't see them till tomorrow, or they may just hang around.
Now we hear about whales beaching themselves.
Yes.
Ever hear anything of dolphins doing the same?
Dolphins will beach themselves, porpoises, whales. We like to think that our pod is fairly safe and unlikely to beach themselves, but we will get porpoises that will come up on the shore, most of which we don't know why they end up. It could be old age. We do know that the bottlenose, our pod here, and bottlenose dolphins in general, will be a little bit mean and punch porpoises out the water. We've actually gotten pictures of a dolphin coming out the water, punching a porpoise out the water, and that could damage the porpoise, so much so that the porpoise passes away and ends up on shore.
Size-wise, what's the difference?
Size-wise, our pod is that your bottlenose dolphins are going to be sort of 6, 7 feet, 8 feet. Porpoises probably around the 4 to 5. But we also do get large pods of common dolphins come up. They haven't been seen as far up as we are right now up in Greenock, but they've been seen off as far north as Skelmley, Rothsea, large numbers. Last year we had close to 150 common dolphins off Rothsea.
150?
150. But most of the time they tend to spend their time around Arran if they do come in. Minke whales, we had a minke sighting yesterday evening heading up past Skelmley up to Weems Bay. Weems Bay up to Gourock area, but lost sight. Don't know if they're up. The furthest we've seen minkies up have been basically if you drew a line from Holy Loch over to Western Ferries route, that crossing, they've been seen up as far as that. But in the last 3 years we've had a just completely what's the whale? Oh god. So in the last 3 years we've had a humpback.
Senior moment.
Senior moment, yeah. The last 3 years we've had a humpback come up and visit in the early part of each year for the last 3 years. That we had one humpback whale come up.
Here?
Yep. Actually 2 years ago made its way all the way up Loch Long and into Gourock and gave some poor chap on a pontoon a terrible fright when he surfaced right by the pontoon. That's not normal behavior. So when
the punter.
Yeah. So when we get whales in the area up here, especially things like a humpback, British Divers Marine Life Rescue is usually very aware, just because it's not normal behavior.
So when do you know that a Dolphin is mature in terms of, you call the, you know, the pod has a couple of youngsters. What do you call the youngsters? Is it kids or
Kids.
Kids,
I'm
whatever.
sure there is a technical name. We just, you know, Clyde we view as a precocious little teenager, and Splash is just Splash.
Push it on Mike.
Exactly. When we're not on the mic, there's a few other choice names, but no, Clyde and Splash are absolutely adorable. When they come and interact with the boat, it's wonderful. They'll swim upside down. Clyde seems to like to swim upside down alongside boats.
And what's the age, you know, upper limit? What's your age expectation for a dolphin?
I've heard anywhere sort of 30 to 40, even possibly 50 years. There was a dolphin years ago down in Largs called Kylie, and Kylie had been seen, people remember seeing Kylie for 30, 40 years ago, so presumably they can live up to sort of in the 40 to 50. Hopefully our pod here will be here for many, many, many years.
I think you haven't paid them enough appearance money. They're away for their supper.
They're terrible. When you text them and say, hey, I'm on my way up, they never answer their texts. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly make our way over to the sugar boat, and because it looks actually as if they're heading that way anyway.
Do you know you actually get people that die?
First time seeing a sugar boat this close. First time, look at that. Look at all the different birds on it and using it as a home.
Cormorants, David.
What's that, sorry?
Cormorants.
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 Cormorants. There we go, that's what it is. That's what we've got in it. Cormorants. Look at that.
Yeah, no, it's on the sand.
Have you seen it this close before, Willie?
No. But I do remember it going down.
Right.
I just loved across the way there.
Okay. So
I'm that old.
for folk who don't know, can you tell us what happened?
Haven't a clue.
Yeah, okay.
Storm.
Storm, big storm, yep. Look at that. Look.
We had the sweetest cod in the Clyde for a long time. Sure the skipper will have a better idea.
I'm enjoying the scenery on this tour. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know, we've got all the scenery over on the Inverclyde side and Kilcreggan, and it was so brilliant to see the dolphins. I'm so glad about that, seeing the dolphins. Absolutely brilliant.
Go in and give the microphone to the skipper. You carry on here.
Okay.
We'll ask him about,
Okay, when you go.
a wee blather about that. Tell us a wee bit about it.
Actually, I'm going to be out there.
Coming out, right. Skipper's coming out. Tell us about it.
Did it?
So welcome to the SS Captayannis, fondly referred to in these areas as the sugar boat. So 51 years ago, in 1974, end of January, she had left East Africa laden with sugar, headed for the sugar sheds, James Watt Dock. She arrived during a hurricane and moored up behind a BP tanker to provide a little bit of shelter for her from the hurricane. During the night, she slipped her anchorage and scraped along the anchor chain on the tanker, and it tore a hole in her side. So in the middle of the hurricane, captain put her on the shoal that's there, which is only about 20 feet. We're in about 30 feet here. Put her on the shoal, and during a hurricane, a lot of the fishing fleet from Greenock came out, got all the crew off, and the hope was that the next day they could come back out, patch her up, and deliver the sugar to Greenock. Unfortunately, in the morning, she was on her side, and a couple of bad jokes coming up. All the sugar, all the cargo in the Clyde, all the seals, porpoises, dolphins, all the birds, busily on the phone to Inverclyde, sitting there trying to get dental appointments from all that sugar. So back then we didn't have the same environmental laws. Insurance companies argued back and forth about who was going to take her off. She was not really providing a hazard to shipping, and so 51 years later she's still here. This year, January and February, we had a couple of bad storms, and it did a number on her. Some of the cracks were enlarged, new cracks appeared. As we came along the other side, right in the middle, you could see some metal pointing up. That was new this from January and February this year. So she really took a pounding. She hasn't moved per se, but one end has kind of dropped down a little bit more than previously seen. Basically right where all the cormorants are right now. Used to be a little bit higher. So if we keep having storms like we did this year, who knows how long she'll last, maybe another 15, 20 years.
And they'll need to do something about it.
Well, I think she'll eventually collapse inward. She's not providing a hazard to shipping. She's already marked. So I don't believe anybody will come out to try and salvage or move her. She'll just basically slowly collapse in and under the water.
You know, I remember that happening because I'd only just moved to Scotland. But I don't remember it being a hurricane.
Yeah, we had guests on the boat that would sit there and look and go. Young kids back then, you know, now adults are going, "Mom, Dad, was that?" Yeah, that was the hurricane that took the garden shed. That was the hurricane we had to sit there and patch up the windows. So she was quite fascinating. Right now, she's kind of become a little bit of an artificial reef. So a lot of fish around here, hence easy meal for cormorants. Occasionally, we get some seals will come around and feed, but mostly it's the cormorants. Quick, easy meal. Now, second bad joke was there is a rumor that she wasn't carrying sugar, that in fact she was actually carrying salt. Because if you taste the water around her to this very day, it still tastes the salt.
Very good.
And then you rush to the hospital.
Yeah, both of those were told to me by guests on the boat. So.
We always said it was the sweetest cod in the Clyde when we caught.
Oh, absolutely. I've got to remember that one now.
That's just like the Scots. They've got to make a joke about everything.
Got to remember that one.
They've got to put on the practice.
Yeah. So I mean, she's really quite a feature. It'll be sad when she finally slips under the water.
Actually, if you're saying that's about 20 feet of water there, you should actually be able to look over the side and see it. So,
Should.
yeah.
But because of the location, we've got water coming in from Gourock, from Clyde. This area tends to be quite murky, so visibility this
Yeah.
far up this area of the Clyde is not particularly good. Obviously, the further you go, the much clearer it is. But around here, it just tends to be murky.
So tell us a wee bit about Clyde Charters while we're here.
So
Good many years ago.
we started.
David.
Sorry. David, come on. We started just over 3 years ago as Firth of Clyde Boat Tours, and running out of Kip. And then last year we purchased Clyde Charters, which was ran out of Greenock, and basically continued doing the sugar boat trips that they did and our dolphin spotting trips that we do. We do private charters over to Tarbert, Portavadi, Loch Ranza, up to Arica. Private charters just going out for a day on the water. And just recently, after about 2 years of trying to sit there and start promoting, getting research done on the Clyde, we've now got some research slowly being done. The Scottish Ornithological Club, about 15 odd years ago, did a bird survey. So it's been 15 years. So they've started that up now. So we'll be doing bird survey trips with them, and then offering citizen science trips where guests can come out with a researcher and they'll get to help that researcher. And those trips will be up to Arica, out to Loch Ranza and the general up Loch Striven area. But we've also we're about to start working with a researcher to photo and ID all the seals, common and grey seals in the Clyde. And again, we're going to be utilising citizen science guests on the boat to help cover the costs for that research. There's also a research where we're looking at helping put in hydrophones in the Clyde to monitor cetacean and activity, so whales, porpoises, dolphins, specifically focusing on the dolphins. So slowly getting research going back on the Clyde, water sampling, DNA samples of water and what's in the environment. So we're always open to helping researchers, but also, we love being out on the Clyde, and our whole purpose was the Clyde area is absolutely stunning. We want people to come out, feel like they're part of the family, and share the beauty of the Clyde, whether it's a little overcast day like today, but it's still stunning. Whether it's in the winter and it's cold, we've got hot chocolate, come on out. In the summer, we've got sunblock, rarely used in Scotland, but we do have some. It's just nice being out on the water.
Tell us a bit about the vessel. Sorry, David. Tell us a bit about the vessel.
So Obsession was built in 2005, purpose built as a dive charter, running out of the south in the Channel, and then started doing fishing trips down there, and helped basically be one of the boats that kick-started the tuna fishing back up. So she's actually had tunas on her, and we bought her 3 years ago. 40 feet long, the seating inside, the seating outside, there's a toilet, comfortable boat. We do wild swimming trips, paddleboard trips off her, so easy access into the water. The only thing we don't do is dive trips.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've enjoyed the scenery here on this trip. It's been absolutely brilliant. The scenery is excellent.
There's always something that the scenery, while it may stay the same, the colours always change.
Yep.
The water's always changing, and today it's a fantastic day.
It's so brilliant to see dolphins as well. It gives you a good buzz.
It's a big plus. Seeing the dolphins is but even going out seeing seals, seeing porpoises is great. The dolphins just add it.
Yeah. And you're saying there on about the Clyde Citations group. You log it and you check, see where the dolphins are. That's really good, isn't it? There's that Facebook group community there.
It's a great community. As I said, there's about 800 people involved. There's a Facebook group as well as a WhatsApp group. And what's good is it reminds people out on the water that there's always going to be somebody with a camera, always going to be somebody with a video. So behaving on the water, especially around the wildlife, seals, dolphins, porpoises, interacting with them has to be done correctly. Not only are we medics with British Divers Marine Life Rescue, but we're also WISE certified, which is an agency that teaches you how to responsibly view the wildlife. It is a crime to chase birds. It's a crime to negatively impact and scare away the seals, porpoises, and dolphins. So it's important that the group monitors, in essence, the activity of boats on the water. But it's also nice to know that, you know, there's always somebody keeping an eye on the welfare of seals, porpoises, and dolphins in the Clyde.
But that's it. This is the home, and you've got to respect that. That's absolutely key. Yeah.
Yeah, it's our home
Yep,
to everybody
yep,
in North Ayrshire and Inverclyde,
yep.
Argyll and Bute.
And home to the
We've
wildlife.
got to look after it.
Yep, absolutely. Just finally, if folk wishes to take part in any tours, you've got a website. People
Yes,
can book
our
one?
website is clydecharters.com, and we also have a Facebook group, which all of our trips are mentioned on the Facebook group. That's our main point of contact.
Excellent. Thank you once again. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So just leaving the sugar boat now there in the distance. It's great to see that. Really was. Enjoyed that. Great to see a sugar boat up close. First time. There you go, some wild swimmers out on the Clyde today. They're brave, eh? There you go. We'll maybe heading back to Royal West.
Do you think they couldn't afford the fees at the swimming pool?
I think that's it. There we go, the sun's out now. Great to see. It's been a great trip. It's really enjoyed it. So we're just heading back into Kip Marina now. There's a nice wee boat coming out of the Kip Marina now. Look at that. There we go. There's a nice boat. So we're heading back into Kip Marina now. It's been a great journey. Really enjoyed it. It was great to see dolphins, wasn't it? I really enjoyed that. Oh, there's another wee boat over there as well. There's a wee tiny boat, probably fishing or something. So we're heading back into Kip Marina. Kip Marina just in front of us there. I'll let you have a look at that. And it was nice. It was nice and dry all day. The sun's starting to come out now, so it has. It's starting to brighten up. It's been brilliant. There's a big boat, eh? Look at that one. I wonder what it's called.
Roy Marine.
Troy Marine. Yeah.
Marine.
Troy Marine.
Presumably that's the maker.
Yeah. There you go, that's nice. Good to have one of those, eh?
marina is certainly very busy.
Busy marina, yeah. It is a busy marina. Oh yes, yes, yes. Got a lot of good footage. Yep, yep.
I tend to gab a wee bit. I hope I've not ruined it for you.
No, no, not at all. That was excellent. Did you enjoy it yourself?
Oh, I did. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Excellent,
I'll
good
definitely
stuff.
be back.
It was great to see Dolphins. It was brilliant. I was worried about that, you know, in case you couldn't see it, but it was brilliant.
Seen the Dolphins really well.
Wow. Seen him it was a few weeks ago at Esplanade. Got him from my phone, a wee video of him, but you know, it was very hard to get him from Esplanade, you know, but it's so good to see him up close.
Like fishing, you know, you've
That's
got to
it.
have a lot of patience.
That's it.
to see them.
That's it. They move,
Like to eat the fish.
they move around so fast, don't they? Even you believe it. That's it. Right, they move so fast.
It was amazing.
Really enjoyed it. It was amazing. Remember, if you would like to find out more about the Kip Marina, you can visit their website at kipmarina.co.uk. So thank you for joining us on this video. Really enjoyed that trip. It was brilliant. Great to see the Dolphins. Thanks for joining us on the Dolphin Sporting Tour with Clyde Charters. If you'd like to find out more information about Clyde Charters, we will include the link to the Clyde Charters website on our video description below. Now, if you'd like to see more of our upcoming videos, please give us a like this video, and subscribe. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for me, David, and Willie behind the camera.